Right. Are we live for reals now?
Yeah.
And now that's the first
This is going to be terrible.
No, this is going to be great. Best show yet.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Game by Show podcast. It is March the 22nd, 2022. That's 32222 for those of you counting at home. This is the Game by Show. My name is LeGrand Jolly. Joined with me today, Jeremy Lamont. Hello, Jeremy.
It's the most consistent string of digits I've ever seen in a calendar, ever.
Indeed. And of course, Jared Red Eye Dunn over there, hailing from Dallas, Fort Worth area. It's such a big area, they have to name it after two cities. It's that big and that great. Hello.
That's
Jared.
right. It's like the meta area. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Soon
I
it's
just
going to
felt
be
like it was like
it's going to like
I thought it was
envelop
gonna be like
other
the Hatfields
areas
and the McCoys.
Yeah.
Like the Dallas people didn't want to call it Fort Worth, and the Fort Worth people didn't want to call it Dallas. And
I mean,
they'll be damned if. So
That's
they
not-
had
It's
to
like,
vote.
it's like when you get married and nobody wants to take the other person's last name, so they combine because otherwise they're just going to fight over it.
You're like a whole hyphenated society out there. Ugh.
yeah, pretty much.
Not joining us today, guys. Dale Theodore Jones. Dale went to the zoo and he had a horrific accident today.
I mean,
We don't have the details, but we hope he's doing okay.
When they put that sign, "Don't feed the tortoise," they're not joking about that.
It's true.
No, Dale was
Get well soon, Dale.
Dale's like, you don't tell me what to do.
That's
Big
right.
zoo trying to take over my life.
His new hacker name, his new hacker alias is Dale Stumpy Jones.
Dale Stumpy Jones. That's right.
Couldn't
That's right.
outrun that tortoise.
Hey, we need to give an update for all of our friends. Last 2 weeks, we have talked about nothing but daylight savings time. And by God, they're
Just keep
getting rid of
doing
it. Officially,
Yeah.
apparently.
This is the last year we can complain about it, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, we can complain about it 2 more times. and
But
then
you know
it's
what?
done,
I can continue to complain about Arizona, though. I'm not giving that up.
No, it's okay to complain again. Arizona's kind of...
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Don't get me started on Arizona.
Every time I go to... Well, I take that back. I've had some good trips to Arizona.
Listen, have you ever been to that painted desert? That's all lies. That's the beauty of nature. Nobody painted anything.
That's right. It's just super
Can't
hot
believe these
in Arizona.
people. What are they trying to pull on us?
It's all
Too hot.
It's all a bamboozle.
It's a super bamboozle. It's bamboo zona.
I have never heard Jeremy so passionate about anything ever.
I'm trying to start this rivalry
things
with
like
Arizona.
this to bring out.
Is it working? Are we?
Yeah, you're doing all right.
I figure if we get a good rivalry, if the Game Bytes Show podcast gets a good rivalry going with Arizona, we'll get some get some drama, get some beef, and get some viewers and stuff. That's my plan.
let's
do it.
We're going up against Arizona, guys. I think we can win.
What, our
Did you know-
podcast or
Did you know
But the Game Bytes Show podcast versus Arizona.
The Arizona Coyotes, the hockey team there, has been kicked out of their lease at their arena, and they're now going to be playing in a college arena.
You know
cool.
what? They should have thought about that before doing a sport that requires ice
in
in a
Arizona.
place that is never below 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
it
Should've thought
costs
of that.
an extra $10 million a year just to keep their rink on board.
I heard that they use children, like orphan children they have them on a crankshaft underneath the arena to try and keep the ice going because they have them push this, all these transitant children. I'm pretty sure Arizona's like that. Arizona, come at us.
Sounds about right.
Game Bytes
If
Show
there was any
podcast,
place that was
what
doing
up?
that,
It's Arizona.
I heard that
Makes sense.
actually.
Makes sense.
That's right.
I think the governor of Arizona is going to tweet at us. That's how
You know
mad
what?
they're going to be.
We've got
about
actually kind of
this.
the worst governor, so let's not go that. We'll
Utah?
figure out some good smack talk for next time. But Arizona, we're coming for you.
You don't like the Utah governor?
He's not good.
Governor Cox?
Hey, this is a children's show.
Hey,
Family
I'm
show.
gonna have to
you know what
bleep
he
that.
did? You know what he did? He...
Oh no.
we
My
won't even get into it.
fakey political stuff is actually now we're gonna get crossover into some actual.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So the
Jeremy,
weather
if you
here
are
the
actually
other
being
day-
serious.
No, I'm actually serious, but sort of in a jokey way that I can't blame Arizona for.
Very well.
I was trying to save us with weather talk. Did it work?
Weather. Hey, have you mowed your lawn yet this year, Jared?
No, but I need to. The weeds are starting to grow. It's awful.
Oh, the silverfish.
Oh, this is
already coming
the
in.
lawn care podcast.
That's
My
right.
favorite. It's my
Back to our old
favorite
ways.
time of the week.
we're turning over a new leaf and talking about yard care. Oh,
Coming up on
I don't know why
we
I've
just
got so
passed
many
my
good jokes
favorite
this time.
holiday,
Let's
St.
not talk
Augustine's
about
Day.
video
We'll
games.
take it.
I'm going to just monologue.
Let's keep this
and I'm gonna
going,
just-
guys.
Yeah, everybody
It's
tip
fine,
your
it's
waitresses.
fine.
They're working hard for you.
It's fine.
This is
All right,
awful.
tell you what, man. We've got some video games to talk about because that's apparently what this is all about.
That's
Don't
what the
let
people
Jeremy
come here for.
fool you with his confusing rhetoric.
It's the exact opposite of Arizona. They never talk about video
Indeed.
games there.
Speaking of Arizona, we have a surprise visitor. This
Yeah,
is the
hey,
best.
on the podcast. There she is. Yep, that's right.
She's on the YouTubes forever.
She has
Tell her that.
100%ed Astrobot on Astro's Playroom on the PlayStation 5, and I have not done that. Yep, that's right.
So
Wow.
well, we didn't
Wow.
expect much from you, Jeremy.
No.
So the good news, I guess, for this human was the the video's all messed up. So
Oh no, I didn't even look.
nobody was there.
I forgot to click on it. We need our one viewer. Hold on, I'm on my way.
What did we do? What happened?
Well,
The
our
video's
ones,
messed
our
up.
ones of yours.
What's wrong with our video?
I don't know.
Who's our streaming manager that should be in charge of this?
Listen, we're
Discord
docking his
changed
pay.
something.
That's it.
Yep.
All right, he's fired. One more outbreak and he's out of here.
I don't even know.
I'm
where
gonna
it
blame Dale. He's my fall man, so he's already gone. It's like
you know
when
what, I
a
agree.
coworker
I can-
quits, you can blame them for all your issues for like 8 months or something, right?
went. Oh, I'm labeled as Dale. This is a travesty.
Yeah, what happened? It's okay.
don't know.
It's okay, guys. For our
You
YouTube
know what?
listeners,
I'm liking
hopefully
this.
you're not confused.
I like this a lot.
It's fine.
There. It's
Oh,
fixed.
we're fixing
There
it.
we go.
Sort of. Now it's fixed
All right.
officially. Okay, great.
All right, we're
All right.
ready. Now we can go.
All right, guys. Listen,
He's going to talk about Elden Ring next. No, I'm just kidding.
Elden Ring.
No, actually, you know what? I'm actually really open to talking about Elden Ring. I just want to hear something new and interesting about it. What's new and interesting in Elden Ring?
Here's what's new and interesting about Elden Ring this time.
Ooh. Not next time.
I'm level 88, which
Okay.
seems like a lot. It is a lot. I'm like 50.
Have you actually accomplished
hours in?
stuff?
Yeah, I'm probably I'm on my way to kill the fourth major boss. Of
Do
the
they
game.
do they have names like like the salivating creeper or whatever? Like what are the bad guys in this?
I just beat a guy named General Radon. He was one of the dudes that had like a shard that I needed to kill.
Okay.
It was Star Scourge Radon, and he's a dude that it's interesting because the when you talk about the lore, right?
I
You
do,
talk
all
about
the
what
time.
did George R. Martin do, and that was a
Deep
question
lore.
that you asked me this first time we talked about this, and all of these characters, these named characters in the game, like they have like these storylines that you kind of pick up throughout the game by talking to characters and just picking up little bits of dialogue from random things like that. And so this character is like he wanted to die. He just was waiting for someone, this is the classic anime story, right? He's waiting for somebody strong enough to give
Powerful
him a
enough.
victorious death or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the battle, holy shit, like it was awesome. It was so cool, this fight. I one-shotted it because I was a little bit overpowered for this boss, which is fine. It's not like, hey, I came across this major boss and I beat him my first try. Like that doesn't happen in these games.
Yeah.
But I'm overpowered because I spent so much time just wandering around the open world killing stuff that some of the stuff has been, I'm not gonna say trivial, but easier than you would expect from one of these games, right? Anyway, this fight was really, really cool. It had a lot of cool little cinematic moments. Like there was a part of the fight where boss took off and then like stuff happened and like they did a really good job with these boss encounters. It's not just your standard stuff. There's usually like a midpoint in these boss fights where something cool and unique happens. Anyway, I kind of spent a lot of time just clearing out just different areas that I hadn't kind of made my way through. And now I'm up in a place called Volcano Manor. I'm doing the dirty business of the people who live there. They're like, hey, we want you to join the manor and we need you to go kill these people. And
This
I'm
sounds like a PBS
I'm
original
in.
series, Volcano Manor, and you're doing the dirty business.
like, so they
Mr.
send me to kill.
Chippersworth is down with the commoners, and we need him to.
So they sent me to kill like these people, but in order to kill them, I had to like invade their world. So it's like there's like this weird thing in these games where sometimes, there's like the PvP aspect where other players can invade your world and
messages, or can they be good or bad in this? I don't even know.
Yeah, they can invade, or you can invite them and you can do like co-op, right? Or they can invade and try to kill you, and that's the PvP side of this, the competitive stuff. Well, there's like certain parts of this game, and I think it's the same in other Dark Souls games, where just normal like characters will just appear in your world, but they're NPCs. But it's like simulating other people visiting your world. Well, in this case, I had to go and actually visit NPC players' worlds and murder them, and I did cool. So.
It's a little bit of an inversion of the usual model.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And so they're basically like, hey, you need to do this stuff if you're going to be part of us. Are you down with killing your own kin? And I'm like, hell yeah, I am.
I'll kill everything.
They sent me on these quests to go murk these dudes, which I did. Anyway, the whole storyline of the Volcano Manor's interest, like stuff, it's just an interesting world. And there's lots of little bits and tidbits of things. And I know that's the case with these games, right? You kind of glean the narrative and the story and the characters. You kind of pick that up as you play along. It's not necessarily just given to you. You kind of have to, think about it and look for it and find it and things like that. So been enjoying that. I also went down a rabbit hole since I'm getting near, end game levels. Like I'm at level 88. They say you should be around 100 before you're kind of into the end game of this. And so I went to a website and I was looking up like something, and I came across a video on YouTube that was like this dude like explaining different builds in the game. And now that I've kind of experienced what it means to be my guy with a shield and a bleeding sword, I started watching videos of like all the different unique stuff that you can do in this game and all the different character types. And it just got me thinking like, man, like I really want to try out a mage, like a caster build. So you know what I did? I created a new character and I made him just a pure caster. And I started running around the world. I played for about an hour. I leveled up like maybe 5 or 6 levels and just was like playing around with like the magic component, which I've never done in any Dark Souls game. It's always been pure, sword and shield or whatever.
Do they let you respec, or do you pretty much have to create a new character?
You can. And so you can respec. It requires an item that you have to find, and there's a finite number of them, so you can't respec infinitely. I kind of wish you could, but I kind of understand why they don't let you, because they want you to play through the game and kind of like if you were playing through and leveling up. That's the thing though, is like I don't necessarily want to play through the game and have to explore all these caves again, and and to find all these components that you would need to make that build. And so I think that if I was to play the game again, I would probably choose a build, find out the components that I would want to have for that build, and then go and seek them out and just find out where they're at. And once I've kind of like played through the full game, experiencing it, discovering things for myself, I think I might play through it again as like a caster or like a battle mage or a paladin or something like that, and just determine my build, look one up. Like I don't care, figure out what that's going to be, determine which armor pieces I need and which spells I need and weapons, and then just go and find out exactly where there are. Use the internet, the power that we have, use it for good this time. And, and then just make that and just kind of screw around. Like this is a game that, man, it's so big, and so there's so many things you can do and so many cool bosses and different character types and builds and weapons and like ways to customize your character more than I ever thought possible in one of these types of games. Like
I was looking at a thing where the people are using the character creator to make like Ringo Starr and Kratos from God of War, and
the character creators like it's not very good.
Is it not? It's like the legally like Ringo Starr's stepbrother.
Yeah, I guess if you went pretty crazy, you could customize a few things, but it's not.
People did some pretty good things with those Mii, the Mii character creator on the Wii. They had to take the eyebrows and put them down here like fangs and stuff. Oh
yeah, that's right. That's right. So anyway, Elden Ring continues to dominate like my life. I played it for like 3 hours today. Like it's just I played for like I streamed it. I played straight nonstop for like 6 hours on Saturday and streamed the whole thing. And
wow,
James tuned in. Nice. James that I recorded the other episode with about Elden Ring, and I think we might need to have another round table roundup part 2 and just kind of check in, because I know he's still playing it. I know that Casey's still playing it. Of course, I'm still playing it. So now that we're past the 10-hour mark into the 50-hour mark, like, what is Elden Ring to us now? I think that might be a good update to that podcast. So we might plan something like that. I might hook up with those dudes again. That was fun. But Elden Ring is amazing. It's really, really good. And I think that you would actually like it, Jeremy, because you could actually play it how you want to play it.
The real game changer, I think, is the fact that if you just don't get stuck, which was always my problem. And if you get stuck, just bounce off that, go do something else. I think that actually does.
And the thing is you wouldn't. And if you just did that, like, if I continued to just explore and do these little minor dungeons and level up slowly, like, I could trivialize the rest of the game. Like, it's that type of thing where you can just become overpowered. Like, things don't scale with you like some RPGs do. It's funny. Like this guy is this level, and the thing is they do a unique thing in this game where they reuse bosses, but they put them in as like normal enemies later. So like that Margit that everyone complained about, like the first major boss before you get to Stormvale Castle at the beginning of the game, it was really difficult for a lot of people. It was like your first major skill check and your difficult boss that you fought. Anyway, I came across another version of that character today, just barely. I rolled into the world and all of a sudden he shows up. He's like, "Hey, I'm here to fight you." And then I had to fight him again, except for, of course, now I'm way more powerful than I was then. And he wasn't a problem. That's happened too. I've come across where they've thrown 2 lesser bosses from previous little minor boss encounters into one encounter, and you had to deal with that. Like, that's happening.
Hey, listen, talk to me when Elden Ring isn't doing something that Vampire Survivors already did way before.
Dude, Vampire Survivor's so good. All right. Anyway, that's my Elden Ring update.
Nice.
Enjoy.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, I have an update for a game nobody wants to hear about either, except for all the people that love this game. UO Outlands.
All 2 of them.
Hey, so I don't know. I've just been playing it, and it's
now. Okay, there was an event you had this last week, right? What was going on? It seems like there was.
We actually did have an event.
We already talked about that. We talked about that last week.
No.
There's another event?
There's another one.
There was
It's a hopping place.
It is. Dude, we're constantly doing events. Yeah. So it is the 3rd in our series of a larger campaign in a war of orcs versus knights. So the orcs, one of the orc guilds, a bunch of role players, and the Knights Guild goes back way many years, and we are having a large scale battle. And in fact, it is coming to a head in the this piece of the campaign will be April 2nd, the major battle, final battle for Horseshoe Bay township. So
Horseshoe Bay.
Who's
DMing this for you guys?
So the DM is actually one of the orc leaders. He's been putting together the scenarios, but this past weekend the scenario was that orcs attacked some desert outlaws, which are actually in the game, and then they had to escort some pack horses with explosive kegs in them, which are in the game, to their allied brigand camp. And so while they were doing that, the knight's objective was to locate this caravan and ambush it. Which we did.
Imagine hitting those kegs while the horses are carrying them? I mean, there'd be hooves everywhere. Like, it'd be a whole glue factory.
It's like suddenly you're just whacking them with your broadsword, boom, instant glue, red glue everywhere. But and so
it works.
So we ambushed the caravan.
Can I open a glue shop if I play UO Outlands?
You should RP as a glue shop owner. Like, how else are they going to stick
I'll have
stuff
like a corral in the back with horses, and
I'll
sell
a bunch of horses. Yeah.
No problem.
Go for it, dude. I mean, whatever. Live your best life.
I will tell you, Jared, listen, like I have tried multiple times to play games and to like all these MMOs. I'm talking World of Warcraft. I'm talking Age of Conan. I'm talking Warhammer Online.
Mm-hmm.
They all have like RP servers, right?
Yeah.
And I've always at least dabbled and tried to do whatever. And I tell you what, I think that, and Jeremy's the same way. Jeremy likes to role play. He likes D&D. Like, we all like this stuff. And
my recurring character is Princess Stephanie, who is the queen of the fairy.
Wow.
Fairy realm. Yeah.
I just don't know if UO Outlands is the engine to fulfill my RP desires.
I will say
Or is it? Or is it?
Of all the MMOs I've ever played, none of them. It's like role playing games. It's a weird genre that actually is just a way to play a game with dice rolls in it, right? Like who sits down and really gets into their character, builds the backstory? You know, like those RPGs based on the D&D playset has like a place to put your character sheet and like write out your backstory. Nobody does that. Okay, so
I did last time I played.
So
we did it on Roll20 or whatever, and I built out a character. His name was Braun Battle Axe or Barrel Axe.
You did for dwarf. Neverwinter Nights 2 or for Pathfinder, Kingmaker. No, people don't.
Neverwinter Nights was so good, man. Like I missed that game.
I agree.
And anyway. I got into a role playing bit in that, and we were missionaries, and we were trying to convert people to our religion.
So you could come really be a weird and profess the virtues.
No, it was a dude that came up to us, and he was trying to convert us to his religion. Wow. And then we joined him, and we tried to, and we preached.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow, awesome. It worked.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It super worked.
That explains a lot.
But he was like super RP, and it caught us off guard because this was like, you know, and we didn't realize how weird people could be on the internet, you know. And we're like, oh yeah, we'll do that with you, guy. It
was young.
And we did.
So Ultima
like one night
Online. The thing with Ultima Online is its systems are pretty rudimentary. It was developed in 1997, right? So you can pretty quickly, and Outlands is a little different because they've added layers of systems on top of it for like in-game progression and things like that. But the basics are fairly easy to comprehend, and it's just something about that game in particular. I think it's a mix, right? It's isometric, top down. You know, the settings are fairly simple. There's a lot of imagination you have to kind of fill in a way, right? But it lends itself to that style of role playing that no other MMO I think has ever done. At least for me, I've never sat down in an MMO and like, I'm going to create this type of character. No. Even in Guild Wars, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a warrior. Okay, I'm a warrior. Go to the next quest. Okay, go to the next quest. Okay, oh, look at this cool shield. Okay, go to the next quest. Oh, this one's even better. Yeah. Go to the next quest.
It's because the narrative is so defined in those RPGs that
and they're on
Ultima
rails,
just doesn't
right?
have that. Yeah, exactly.
And they're on rails. And it's, Eve, I think, is probably similar if you ever actually get into that and get into the community aspect, in that there's no objectives. There's nothing. The game has nothing for you other than what you come up with.
EVE Online is probably the perfect work from home game because you could like just have it running like in this computer.
You can play
here on this computer.
Ultima Online Outlands and mine while you work from home. No. But anyway, so you fill in all the blanks yourself and you create your own fun. And, if you want to go get a bunch of boss rares, which we actually just got one just before this show, and it's awesome. You can go for it, but otherwise you get to define your own fun. And like mine is, I'm right now trying to collect all of the highest level magic gear, which is not really that valuable in this game because you die so often and lose it, to display in my blacksmith's armory. So it's going to have all these armor stands, which don't exist. You'll have to like create your own, basically by stacking things in certain ways and display all this like high end gear. It's going to be fun. I don't know. It's just sounded fun. And so I'm going to go do it. Right. My character has worn the same like style and color like of armor and shield for months now. It's his look. It's who he is. Right. Like that's just my guy. And people get to know
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
I have to change my clothes too often.
But you can do that too, because they are constantly releasing new like premium clothes. So like you just get this thing you want to go do and you go do it. I wanted to create a jousting arena in our castle, so I did. And now we can joust in our own castle because we're a bunch of knights. And of course we have to have our own jousting arena. And so these orcs and I got together and we did this battle. And so the first battle, the knights won. We were mounted versus the orcs unmounted, which is really unfair, but it was the scenario. And then they took refuge in a town. We were unable to push them out. And so then they continued on and we ambushed them again. And there was this real, like, the two towers, the riders will come from the east or whatever, of the cavalry, like charging into their flank at the end. It was really awesome. And a blast. So, we're just having a good time out there on this 25-year-old video game. And Not sorry. Still not sorry. But yeah, so
It's fine.
UO Outlands. It's good. It's good stuff.
I can appreciate it from a distance, Jared.
Absolutely. The other game I've been playing that is not new, I have nothing new to add this week, is No Man's Sky. That game is... What is with
That's
this
a game
game?
I can't appreciate from a distance. I just can't.
I don't know what it is. It's like I get this bug and I'm in it, and then I'm stuck in it for a month, and then I move on. I come back. It is
so weird that I could never even get into No Man's Sky. I've tried like multiple times and
officially
never been able to.
My most played game on Steam. Wow. So anyway, No Man's Sky. I did finish the expedition. It was a lot of fun. Hey, do you remember those like videos of like that Boston Dynamics companies like robot
like
looking
the
dog
thing?
Okay,
Yeah.
so the reward for finishing this expedition is one of those. So I have this like
cool.
robot dog that follows me around. It's awesome. I don't know. Whatever. That's what I've been playing this week.
It's all meaningless, but
Can
it's
you
great.
kick it
I'm
over
glad
and
how do we feel
probably
good about ourselves?
You can.
playing
I don't
video
know if you
games?
can kick it over, but you can ride on it, which is really silly. But
You
who
can't
wouldn't
kick it
want?
over because they have incredible balance. Haven't you seen the videos?
I've
Jeremy?
seen the videos.
You can't kick them over. They can walk on ice, no problem. They just
they
compensate.
go digging through rubble, looking for
Yeah.
humans that are hiding
Yeah.
from the robot apocalypse.
Barney Rubble.
That's right.
All of it. The first known occurrence of rubble.
right.
So I've been playing something new this week.
Yeah, right.
So if you
Shut
want
up.
something new, come to me. Here's
But
what
is
we're
it
doing.
good new?
It's actually, I have to say, I didn't know how it was going to strike me. I've been playing Paradise Killer, which came out last year, maybe the year before, and it's now on Xbox Game Pass. And it has a kickin' musical score. Just like it's got a really good title track, and it's got really good. It makes liberal use of the saxophone, which is something that we do not get very often in video game scores. This and I think Pepsi Man are like the two that you get a lot of saxophone. But Paradise Killer is a sort of first person real time, so it's a little bit like playing an Elder Scrolls game. But it is a kind of a murder mystery a la Ace Attorney or kind of like the Danganronpa series or whatever. Just kind of shy of a visual novel because you actually get to move around and go investigate things. And the setting for this game is it has such a foreign cosmology. Like, do you remember playing stuff like I'm trying to think of something that's just like really out there. Like what was that? Like Xenocrisis? Did you say Killer 7? Like Killer 7 was a little weird like that. But where there is a society that exists and it's based on something that is so alien, it's just hard to figure out. So I want to take a minute and I don't think this counts as spoilers because this does factor into kind of the way I appreciate the game a little bit. But the idea is that that there is a society of sort of demigod characters called the Syndicate, and they are in this eternal process. They're sort of immortal, but they can be killed. But they're in this eternal process of creating interdimensional islands that are going to house a perfect society. But they keep finding out that there are things wrong with it, particularly that outer space demons keep finding them and wrecking their society and like possessing people. So there's also regular people who are not part of the Syndicate. They're called citizens. And every time the Syndicate decides that it's time to move house, all of the citizens, all the humans have to die. They're there to kind of worship. That, well, the regular humans do. Like they can't make that interdimensional hop to the new island because someone has to build it. So all of the Syndicate are sort of like almost like a Greek pantheon. Like there's one who is like the and furthermore, this has been going on. By the time the game starts, you're up to the 24th iteration of this.
And they become exceedingly efficient at it, right?
Yes, they're very good, except something is still wrong with it. And you play as a character named Lady Love Dies, like Love Dies, but your Lady Love Dies. And all the characters, all the Syndicate characters have like these really gonzo names. I mean, there's
like Die Hard Man.
Kind of. So there's like the Witness to the End is one of. I love the part when Die Hard Man jumps out the window. When Die Hard jumps out the window.
I'm making a freaking reference to that game I played, Death Stranding. Die Hard Man and Heartman.
Harder. Yeah. There's a guy named Dr. Doom Jazz.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
someone named
That's great.
like it's all stuff like that. Just
Sounds
like
like a
weird,
Destiny gun.
weird old. Yeah, exactly. Like any of these.
Dr.
Actually, I'm
Doom
looking at him
Jazz.
right now. Crimson Acid. Yeah, that could be one. One
Destiny
Last
gun.
Kiss is actually
Also Destiny gun. That is a Destiny gun.
Yeah. Anyway,
shotgun.
so they bring you, Lady Love Dies, out of this sort of phantom zone time loop that they've got you stuck in. And there's a timer on your wall when you begin the game, and you've been there for like 3 million days or something like that. And you've been exiled for something that happened in the past. So while you've been stuck in this time loop, these islands have been iterating and stuff has been going wrong. And some of the people that you knew who were like special named characters are like dead, or something terrible has happened, or they've changed. Like one of them now has like a jackal head, and she's like this. She was blessed by some guy, because there's also a divine pantheon that is sort of above these other demigods. Anyway, stuff has just been happening, and when the game opens, the high council of this syndicate, who's sort of organizing and overseeing, has all been murdered. Like they're all dead before you get started. And the main suspect is this dude who's been possessed by one of these outer space demons, and they've just been holding him, but he broke out, and they're all dead. And so as Lady Love Dies, they sort of refer to her as an investigation freak. Like everybody sort of calls her that, like that's some sort of character trait that she has, because she's like the Phoenix Wright of this pantheon. I guess it's just what she does.
Is she who you play as?
And she's who you play as. And you never see her because you're doing first person. But then when you go and talk to somebody, it kind of puts up paper dolls, and you'll have kind of dialogue back and forth. And there'll be little voiced kind of barks that are semi-annoying. But the writing is really pretty good. There's just the dialogue between the characters. The setting is so out there that I have found it really interesting to just pick up little relics. So as you move around, I mentioned that it's like an Elder Scrolls game. So the whole place is abandoned because they were in the process of moving to the 25th island, which is perfect 25. Like they figure they've got it sorted out. There's nothing that's wrong with it. No demons are going to find it, and it's going to be a perfect society. But while they were in the process of moving, yeah, exactly. But you come to find out that actually that's not necessarily going to be the case. Or it wasn't going to be the case, but something happened, and they shut the whole process down because all of the bosses are dead and all of the humans have already been murdered. So you're sort of walking around an empty environment, except for these characters that are kind of stationed around, and you just go and interrogate them. So you go and talk to them about stuff, and and just like any good investigation game, the dialogue options that you unlock from somebody become things that you can question somebody else about later on. Items that you pick up after you've talked to a couple people, events happen and things will materialize in front of you, and you'll be talking to a new character that you've never met before. And they make it pretty easy to see where you're going. So there is traversal. I mean, it's not like a visual novel in that you actually have to walk to a place and you have to explore the environment. So it also gets into a little bit like The Witness or whatever. Like sometimes there are some little puzzles. There are doors that you can open with, powering some door locks and things like that. And the game sort of, it's nothing fancy, but where and actually one of my daughters was watching me and she's like, "Dad, is this game finished? Like, is it a complete game or, whatever?" Because there were some things and I'm like, no. It not only is it finished, but it's actually
this is
really
not
good.
as good as Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I know.
Got him.
But I found the writing to be really good. And at first you're like, I don't even know what's going on because they don't explain nothing to you. You've got to figure it all out through contextual dialogue. Sometimes you'll find, little mementos of Island 12, which is the one where we thought we were safe, but then the demons discovered so-and-so and whatever, and it kind of, you could actually see the progression of these weird, interdimensional societies that they've tried to set up and then what went wrong with them. And I have found that to be, and all the characters are weird looking too. Aside from the names of the characters, if you look at the designs, like a bunch of them look like, there's one who looks like a luchador with like a gold Darth Vader mask, and he's got like feather lapels. There's one who's like the Red Skull, but he also has a unicorn horn or something like that. There's a dude who kind of looks like a BDSM Mohawk man, kind of. It's almost like, you know how I'm trying to think of some of the TV shows or the comics where it's like, what if superheroes were real and they all became complete degenerates or whatever. It kind of is like that. Like the character dialogue and just the scenario are just weird. But that kind of has drawn me in a little bit. just to kind of find out, like, okay, I think I'm getting a grasp on this, and I get just enough, a handhold on what is the lore, like what's actually going on, to kind of progress me to be like, okay, I pick up a little bit of, not only am I doing an investigation, but I'm kind of getting a little bit of the backstory of what's going on here. Like, I'm kind of figuring out how the society is ordered, and it's all just through the written and spoken dialogue of the game. When you talk to people, then you also have a little laptop that will sort of tabulate things and set objectives for you. And basically, you just kind of walk around trying to find out, is this murder of the High Council of the Syndicate, is it actually what it seems to be, or is there something else going on? And in the same way
there's probably something else going on.
There's probably something else going on. And just like a murder mystery dinner.
Yeah.
They've got just like a murder mystery dinner. Everybody's got, like you can ask anybody about anybody else, and they've done a good job of tying it together. And your computer keeps track of who's got an alibi, what did they say was going on. You got their phone logs, and you as the investigator, like they basically have to deal with you. And you can choose dialogue options that are, compliant or that are aggressive or whatever. And I've actually come across. Also, there's no autosave in this game. They specifically make a point over and over of saying, "Save your game. There is no autosave." And I have to admit, I'm not 100% sure that I know why. But I've actually run afoul of that. And
is
then
this on xCloud?
It is on, yes, and I've been streaming it. So I've been playing it completely through streaming. So you can load it up in 10 seconds and try it out. And the vibe is really cool. Like I don't know that there's anything really special about the environment design, but it's just so out there. I mean, it's playing something like Zork or something, where it's like, what, I kind of have some touchstones about, well, there's a reality warping power plant or something, and people who go there lose their minds, and days stretch into years, and years compressed to hours, and they just it's like a lot of just weird stuff, and I'm like, give me more. Like, okay, I'm actually into this. And I can't say that would necessarily be the case for everybody. And the music is really good to listen to. I mean, it plays a little bit like Valhalla or some of those other. They came out on the Vita. They were kind of like jazzy, synthy kind of soundtracks that went along with basically just some writing that some game nerds put together. And I think it works. I think it works really pretty well. The experience of walking around is not so pleasant. So actually having to traverse, but in the middle. Again, it's like The Witness. Like, you might be on your way somewhere and you kind of come across a puzzle, or you come across an item that you find, and it sends you back in another direction. So I don't know yet what the final, like, am I going to do objection, or whatever? Am I going to actually finally, accuse someone? I don't know exactly yet how that works, but I can definitely see how the branching dialogue options are working based on different things that I do and different people that I talk to in different orders. So this may be one that's like really kind of cool and complicated, and if you play it a few different times, different things happen. But in the meantime, I'm just kind of along for the ride, and I'm kind of really enjoying it. So if you have Game Pass, try it out. Again, no commitment, and if you don't like it after 10 minutes, just forget about it. But so far, I'm kind of wanting to go back to it and see if I can figure it out, heads and tails of all this stuff, because it's kind of compelling. So
cool.
So that's what I've been playing. Paradise
I'll try it out. I will.
Yeah, give it a shot. I mean, it's like I said, I have not played a lot of Ace Attorney style games, so this is kind of a genre for me that's a little bit new, but I'm digging it.
Between that and Kraken Academy, what should I play? Paradise Killer,
little of both.
Kraken Academy,
little of both.
Well, there you go.
That's the game that I've been playing this week.
Hey, for new releases and stuff, tech-gaming.com. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Why is that listed separate?
Well, it's
that is the full title.
That's everything. That's sort of like their Dark Souls, their Souls-like Final Fantasy.
It's made by Team Ninja, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it sort of retells the story, like the backstory of Final Fantasy
Team Ninja
1 on
they're
the
known
NES.
for Metroid Zero or Metroid. What was that one called? Other M, that's the right.
Other M.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the thing they're most famous for.
All right. Other new releases this week. Mario Kart 8 Booster Pack 1, which is $25, and you will get 8 packs over a period of 16 months.
That first pack is good. And I'll say I approve of it. I would do this rather than subscribing to the Cockamamie Nintendo Online Expanded service or whatever.
You probably have to do that too.
And the tracks are
want to play
actually
online.
well, just do the regular scrub version and then pay the $25, and I think that's your best bet. The only thing is, it doesn't have the anti-grav stuff. Like, they're straight up the tracks from the mobile game or the Nintendo 64 game or whatever. But there's some classic tracks even in just this first pack. It's good.
Cool.
Nice.
Returnal Ascension update is live. It includes co-op and a Tower as Sisyphus challenge mode.
Returnal also very good, and I do want to try this co-op with someone. I bet It's awesome.
Other games I listed here, Siberia the World Before, which was a pretty good adventure game if you like the old style point and click adventure games. This is a prequel to those. And this one caught my eye, and so I tossed it in. Zelda Ocarina of Time fan-made PC port is out now.
Huh. Did they bother to reskin it as something that was not going to get it taken down?
I would go download it now if I were you. All right. Game Pass stuff for the last half of March. I think we've already talked about these, but they are, Shredder's cloud, console, and PC. The Dungeon of Nihilbook is coming out for everywhere. Tainted Grail.
These are old.
Yeah,
some of
these
them
are.
Crusader Kings 3 is coming out later this week, and then Weird West also later this week.
So Tainted Grail, Crusader Kings 3 are just for console. Those have been out on Game Pass PC for a while now. Weird West is for everywhere.
Nice.
Cool. So our new section, heard it here first on the Game Bytes show as of last week, leaked new Destiny guns allegedly.com. Curious Expedition 2, which Curious Expedition 1 was a great submachine gun.
Really? It's funny. It's funny for the second one, they decided to make it a bow. I
Weird.
didn't expect that.
And then Black Geyser, Couriers of Darkness.
No, Black Geyser is one. Couriers of Darkness is another.
And when you get the both, and you can dual wield them. I don't know.
One is an exotic and one is a legendary.
That's it. Or one is that, you get like the exotic and like the Ingram that like changes the colors or whatever. The skin. All right. A Paradise Killer. Apparently
Paradise Killer also a Destiny.
Yeah, that one is actually a sword.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Cool.
We got some news this week, you guys. The first thing that was kind of ruffling people's feathers this week, Gran Turismo 7, which I'm interested in trying out. But it is an offline game, but apparently was down for 24 hours due to online maintenance. This had something to do with their currencies and their premium items and whatever. They basically found after a 1.07 update that the game would not start properly in some cases for the PS4 and PS5. I think that what's the dude's name? Yamauchi. Is it Kazuo? Kazuo Yamauchi? What is that dude's name? Anyway, Kazunori Yamauchi.
No idea.
Really, Kazunori Yamauchi? The thing I remember the most about him, so aside from the stuff where they're like, here he is,
the Gran Turismo tattoo
cars.
he had on his sleeve.
Yeah, on his bicep.
Yeah.
No, I just remember that time that they brought him out on stage at one of the Sony events, and he looked like he was gonna die, like right there on stage. I don't know why. He just looked like he was either really nervous or I don't know what. But the dude knows his stuff. And he was out there apologizing to everybody. And I don't know. I saw that there were some reactions to this around Video Gamedom. Grid Legends tweeted that Grid Legends is a video game with cars in it that you can play right now. And
some
and they actually
got him.
Sony versus Microsoft bullshit right there, right? Like PS4, Xbox One announcement time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So this has since been corrected, but I guess beyond that, it is sort of one of those situations where Sony in the past had said like, oh, we're not ever going to require online, and people would cheer for them. And then now they've lived long enough to become the villain in their own
all
story.
the time they had their fingers crossed behind their back.
Yeah, they did.
Jeez. Can you believe it?
Elsewhere, more favorable reaction happened in Fortnite land, Epic and Xbox. This is the start of a new season of Fortnite. So they decided that they were going to do a donation campaign for charity for the Ukraine. And they did not do it at the end of the season or at the middle of the season. They did it right as they launched. So that's when people are buying their battle passes. That is like prime revenue time for Fortnite. And they had actually
Rocky
raised
4
$36
Rocky
million.
Balboa's in Fortnite now.
Whoa.
Huh.
Waiting for that Outlands
There,
Fortnite crossover.
he's as long as he punches out Ivan Drago, that's what we want.
Ivan Drago's not in it.
No, I know, but he should be, so you could punch him out, and then that's
Rocky Balboa should be in Fortnite for this whole thing. That'd be amazing. I bet they would sell so many. Could you imagine Rocky with like the American flag trunks running around with a shotgun? It'd be so good, man. That's what makes Fortnite good.
I would like that character that what's that Dietrich, the dude, and he plays in Napoleon Dynamite as Rex Kwon Do. I want Rex Kwon Do. How'd you like a roundhouse kick to the face wearing these? And he's got these big parachute pants, these big American flag parachute pants.
Rex Kwon Do playing football. Rex Kwon Do. I was thinking Uncle Rico. Rex Kwon Do.
There's Uncle Rico too.
Yeah.
You think you want to get into the octagon?
Rex Kwon Do is when he's trying to learn how to fight, right? And he's
he just like keeps slapping him. He's like, ow. Rex Kwon Do.
Oh man.
Anyhow, so they are giving that money to UNICEF, to the Direct Relief, and other charitable organizations that are out there doing good stuff. In the meantime, Sierra founders Ken and Roberta Williams have come out of hiding on their sailboat that they've just been sailing around the world for the last 20 years. And they decided they're going to make a new game. First new game they've done in 20 years. And they're going back to the well because no one has any original thoughts anymore.
Great.
Actually, they're going back to their very first text-based adventure game, Colossal Cave. And I'm not joking about this. They're doing something called Colossal Cave 3D, which is going to include a VR version. And they've said that they basically just got bored during lockdown and they just want.
That's what we need is just more remakes. That's what we need.
Yeah, this is Colossal Cave HD. We have completely recreated Colossal Cave for the millions of fans that grew up with it and a new generation of gamers.
That's a stretch.
I think it is.
Millions of fans weren't playing video games back then.
That's true, and the ones that were, half of us are dead now. So,
right.
Yeah. Anyhow, so they showed
Outlands.
Or UO, that game, so good.
Yeah, try and pry UO Outlands away from their cold dead.
It wasn't UO Outlands back then. It was just Ultima Online.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
good.
True. That's true.
You had to choose. You showed up to Software Etc. and you had to pick between the shiny Colossal Cave box or Ultima Online.
And remember, if you opened it, they weren't taking returns.
That's right.
People were copying those.
Still
floppies.
a CD key.
That's right. And then a little note over here. Xbox did an ID at Xbox presentation, which is where.
What does that even mean? ID at Xbox?
I think it's like indie developer at Xbox.
Oh, is that what that means?
I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I just came up with that.
That sounds made up, but that's fine.
Yeah. So they announced a bunch of indie games, and one of them actually came out on Xbox Game Pass, which is called Tunic. And LeGrand, I know you were talking about that, so maybe we'll hear from you about Tunic next week. Maybe
it looks neat. I mean, it hasn't pried me away from Elden Ring yet, but from what I hear, it sounds pretty good. They also announced Paradise Killer, bud.
Once in a while, they come out with like an ironic city game, like what was the one? Was it a Bobo Saves the World, based on the big bald fighting character from Double Dragon? Like he goes on like a text adventure.
So I lost sound and it stopped my recording. If we want to do an extra class.
Oh yeah, we should then. So bonus content for YouTube people.
So let me start recording
This is how the show's made. And this happens every week.
The ugly sausage.
I apologize, but I am ready.
Where's your camera, dude? You gone? You done?
No, I'm here.
That is his camera. He's wearing that helmet.
All right.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay,
right, clap it back in.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Got it.
52:31.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I probably need to mark that down. Got it. Anyhow, so games are coming out over on Xbox, and it's good. It's good times all around, mostly on Xboxes. So
I wonder what of these games that are in this list could be Destiny guns, probably.
Maybe many of them. I mean, anything can be a Destiny gun if you try hard enough, which is also the name of a
Destiny gun.
Rolling Thunder is a rocket launcher. No, it's a grenade launcher.
What about Floppy Nights.
Can't do it.
Coming to a list on our
sword.
podcast soon. Destiny
Floppy
Guns,
Nights
probably.
is the name of one of the speeder bikes.
Nice. Guys, that is not all the news that we've
It's
got.
going to be, that's Jared Squire in UO Outlands. Floppy Nights.
Sir Floppy Nights.
All right, hey, if I ever play UO Outlands, that's going to be my character's name. Floppy Night.
We have some great characters. There's a dame, because she's female, Gretchen Wieners. That's a good one.
We
can't
talk
forget
about
Sir
Gretchen last week.
Dushar Alehammer. He's a blacksmith. He drinks
Not
a
bad,
lot.
not bad.
Guys, we still got a tidbit of news left in bite-sized little chunks with the news speedrun. Start the music, Jared.
Also great for our YouTube listeners.
Yeah.
That part of the show.
All right. Jade. Sony acquires Jade Raymond Studio, Haven Studios. Price probably less than Microsoft paid for
Microsoft paid for-
Activision.
An alpha version of Steam coming to Chromebooks. This is interesting.
Actually, this is from the Jared file. Jared's on this.
Is it? Yeah. So Chromebooks, the ultimate gaming platform, by the way.
It's starting to become that.
You can play xCloud games on Chromebooks, right?
Yes.
You should be able to.
Sure.
Nintendo has launched a few original IP mobile games, and the Dragalia Lost, which is one that came out a few years ago, finally is going to shut down after the story ends. So thus ends Nintendo's experimentation with mobile.
Yeah, Switch Now Sports folders.
It's catching up with the PlayStation Vita, finally.
Soon,
Finally
it will
getting
be
those-
able to
those
connect to
features.
the internet.
I can't believe it.
Destiny 2, well, specifically Bungie, is getting copyright strikes against its own game on YouTube.
You know, I'm not one to blame people or to like make a joke that might actually get me in trouble for something, but I blame Marty O'Donnell for this because I think
I bet it's some rogue agent, right? That is like pissed off at Bungie and or hates Destiny.
and somehow
Tired of
they've-
grinding, and they're like just submitting these copyright claims. Like, hey, I am representing Bungie, and you need to take down this video.
this
What
is
if
the
it's-
alt fire mode for Curious Expedition 2.
I was gonna say, what if
Yeah.
it's all just a PR campaign to promote their next gun?
What's it called?
It's called
Tekken
the
Bloodlines.
no, it's called the DR
Tekken Bloodlines.
Tekken Bloodlines. They called the Takedown. The YouTube Takedown.
Takedown Swarm.
Zero Escape, the Nonary games. That's the next one.
Yeah, so Tekken Bloodlines is actually a thing. It's an anime that is coming to Netflix a little bit later this year, which I think will be interesting. This will be the first. Well, I guess Street Fighter always has, kind of like some cockamamie story that they just make up. But Tekken actually has like some weird stuff going on. I'll be curious to see if it finds its way into the plot of this TV show.
Deep lore. Weird shooter X Defiant is losing the Tom Clancy name.
Tom Clancy's X Defiant. I love that book.
That no, this is the weird one that was all like the misfit people wearing bags on their heads and stuff. It was like really bizarre. I think that Tom Clancy actually came back from the dead specifically to prevent defamation of his good name. I think is what happened.
It's probably accurate.
Because that game is the one.
Yeah.
A Plague Tale. This is A Plague Tale Innocence. That series is getting a TV show. Has been confirmed by a French director, Matthew Turi. I actually finished Plague Tale Innocence. It's about a kid who can control rats with his mind. Doesn't that sound like
That's
a great
amazing.
TV series?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Isn't
That
that
game's
just
really
Les
good.
Miserables?
French. Some hackers out there, mad hackers who've been hacking Apex Legends, they say that they know the next 2 years of upcoming material for Apex Legends, including the next 9 new playable characters.
9?
In 2 years.
Wow. That's
I
great.
know.
I don't
go ahead. This is not my turn.
I just want to read the last one, but despite its stupid
Okay,
name,
I will read this one. Despite its stupid name, Triangle Strategy sells 800,000 copies in 2 weeks.
it did look
See,
kind of interesting, but it does have a dumb name.
It does. It has a really dumb name. And now everybody knows that the editorializing that we do is actually typed right into the headline.
Bungie is suing them because they stole their gun name for their video
Triangle
game
strategy. Nice. Hey, get this. OBS. This is going to be one for Jared to kind of try and keep his stream going. You get older and it's hard to keep your stream.
Dude,
but OBS
it's just a piddle.
Yeah. OBS is now on Steam for free. So now you can stream yourself adding it to your Steam library and then running OBS.
We heard you like games in your stream, so we put a stream in your game so you can game while you stream. And finally, Guild Wars 2, not done. In fact, in a post that was put out today, the studio announced that they are confirming a 4th expansion will be coming.
Clapping back against their big competitor, UO Outlands.
In fact, they said their overall player base has actually grown in the past 3 years, and it has doubled.
Wow. That's
no. We're talking about Guild Wars 2, not WoW.
Oh yeah. The Ultima Outlands has doubled. They now have 10 people.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Guys, that is the end of our news speed run. That is the end of our episode for this week. I want to thank you very much for making it to the end with us. We did it. And guys, thank you both, my generous, beautiful, wonderful co-hosts, for getting to the end of this Game Bytes Show podcast.
You're welcome.
If you have any comments about the games that we played, if you want to share what you've been playing with us, if there's any news that we didn't get that you really just got to let us know about, you can do that on social media. You can find us collectively at Game Bytes Show on Twitter. You can reach out to us individually. I am at Jeremy_Lamont. You
can find me at Legrand on Twitter.
That's right. And I'm at Red_I.
Dale Stumpy Jones, still tangling with tortoises. You can find him at Count Elmdor on Twitter. Also, find us at youtube.com/GameByteShow. Subscribe to us there. Hit that alarm bell. As you've seen, great exclusive content for our YouTube subscribers here every week. That's right. You just never know what's going to happen.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you watch
quality production,
if you watch the podcast on YouTube, you get way cooler sound effects during our transitions.
And
you get it like 6 days early.
And you can watch me put this pen up my nose.
No,
wait, I forgot how this trick works. You can also find us over at GameByteShow.com. You have there the back catalog of all of our podcast episodes. There's a lot of good stuff back there, and we've been doing it a long time, and we're just really good at it. So, go check it out. You'll be invigorated and edified.
Yeah, go read our sick blog, dude. It's awesome.
You know what? I'm amazed that after all this time, I still am not like just copying and pasting the same text. I do unique, original text for every blog post, and no one ever sees it. It's just in the show notes, I guess. So
a day late and a day short.
Go check it out. That would have been a great title, except we never actually said it during the episode. So
we just did.
Bye-bye.
Maybe I can do it. I don't know. We'll see. It's new days. We can do something radical. You can also find at GameByteShow.com a link to our Discord server where you can join us there. It's an open invitation. Come hang out with us every single day. Find out what scores people are getting on Wordle. I mean, it's a happening place.
Wordle a lot.
We do post Wordle a lot.
I post it every single day. That's
good, and you're good at it.
And it's awesome. It's fun.
Yeah, it is awesome.
It's fun.
So you can see what kind of fun we get up to on the Game Bytes Show Discord. Come get a piece of that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And of course, it is good. We have fun when we get together. And of course, we'll be back next week to do the same thing all over again. So make sure that you are here, same bat time, same bat station. And that will do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Pew, 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 pew,
pew, pew. No, it's or whatever now. But goodbye.
Bye.